doing with him? What amazing.
Lee to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is going to touch him. Pit press.
Saved it.
What a save.
Look to the outside. Trunkett goes off. De Jong into second place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
Trying this contact though.
Slide left to the racetrack. Chris Benner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the upset the Paravolca. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cutback here. Get the run out the Paravolca. That's beautifully done there. Makashuba, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Racing for a Cause tonight. Unfortunately, we are doing a memorial race for Helen Shedd, mother-in-law to the guy on the screen right now, Andy Lambert. What a fitting tribute to Helen, and you know, again, we kind of mentioned it last week, but this is the reason why 2 weeks ago Racing for a Cause did not go on a Wednesday night. So continued thoughts, prayers, and any type of comfort that the family of Helen need and deserve. That said, tonight we are coming from Myrtle Beach Speedway, a little half-mile track here, and it's going to be the longest race, Rick, of the season, 150 laps here at Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to be here with you. We're in the Lagoo Lounge, as we changed up the name a little bit, but man, I'm excited to be here. This is going to be one long race. It's going to be a great race. The development series for Racing for a Cause ran it last night. Those guys had a good time. Looking for a good time here, Chris. Tonight is the second to last race of the season. Next week we head to New Hampshire to crown the champion, and then we're going to take a little bit of time off here with Racing for a Cause for the summer. A lot of these guys here, real life racers, so the summertime is a little bit hard for them to dedicate those nights to sim racing as they're working on their real life cars. So really excited to be here with you, man, and everybody out there in Turn 3 Racing Network.
And we did change up a couple of things, guys, so if we're not sounding quite right, please do let us know. Otherwise, we are getting ready in about 3 minutes 20 seconds to kick off some heat racing. Again, thoughts and prayers. What else can you say? You lose a family member, it's tough. It just is.
I know Andy and Melissa, they really appreciate this, Chris. They were over here last weekend. We talked about it, something that Andy decided to do for him. And knowing that this race was coming up, you know, the Racing for a Cause, something that they do, that's very cool. Tonight's the Race to a Race MS 150. Miss Shedd had MS and probably a very long, hard battle with it. It's obviously unfortunate that Melissa lost her mom, but it's also a blessing that she's no longer in pain and dealing with that. So definitely, like you said, thoughts and prayers out to all the Lamberts and the Sheds, and you know, you're in our hearts and in our minds and our prayers.
And with that said, let's go ahead and bring up the point standings, Rick. So Matt Vaddy coming up here in first place in the point standings. Matthew Spink slowly taking a bite out of that lead, down 17 points. Justin Rigsby sitting in third spot, 34 points behind. Zach Cold Beer Coyer sitting in fourth. Andy Lambert sitting in fifth spot, 45 points behind the leader, with Al Smith Jr. sitting in sixth. Mike Holtzclaw, James McIntyre, Rex Hoyle, and Sean Cool round out the top 10. Then on the other side, you've got Doug Wasaki, AJ Hamill, Ryan Nolan, who hasn't raced for weeks now, still in the top 13. And Chris Stump, again, hasn't raced for a long time. KR Stolfus trying to figure these cars out. Practicing very hard, working on his brakes here tonight. Sitting in 15th spot. KD, Dale Osborne, sitting in 16th with Dylan Blankenship, Justin McDuff, Troy Radford, and last week's winner, Rick Brian Hacker, sitting in 20th.
Yeah, Brian Hacker had a great race there a couple weeks ago, Chris. At number 11, beat up to all heck, man. We were worried about him overheating and having a hard time, but man, did he pull out all the stops in dominating fashion. So that was awesome to see. We'll see what he can do tonight there.
Bring up the countdown again. We got 1 minute left before heat racing gets underway, and it looks like heat 1 will be, I'm not gonna say. Every time I try and guess who's going to be split into what heat, I get it wrong. So I will say this. It looks like we have 19 guys out in the server. Whether or not they all start, we don't know. But 19 guys out there. And last week's winner, Brian Hacker, joining the field again tonight. Troy Radford, who we haven't seen in a little while, driving that 94 Kidney Foundation car, back out with us. Dylan Blankenship, Rex Hoyle, always out there. Andy Lambert, of course, he's not going to miss this one. Too important. Mike Holtzclaw, KR Stolfus, Tyler Hilton. The names go on and on and on, and Rick, we know them all.
We do, and actually one cool thing tonight, Chris. I mean, here we are. We're in race number 9 of 10, so we only have one race left, and I'm noticing some new names, some names that we haven't seen in a while, and some new ones. So really cool to see a couple guys out there, you know, coming in and having fun here at Myrtle Beach tonight, man. I mean, it's going to be a good time here. The track looks beautiful. The temperatures are great, and it's going to be a really good race.
Yeah, well, speaking of temperatures, we haven't talked about them yet. Track temperature, 72 degrees. Air temperature, going to be 67. And these guys were practicing last night. Rick, I heard tell 121 degrees, I believe it was, on track. So while they were out there practicing, I don't think they learned too much for tonight's event.
No, it's definitely going to be a total change up from what they were doing there last night. And that's kind of cool. You know, I mean, you never know what's going to happen with the track there as these guys get ready to set up for their first heat, man. We have 12 laps. One thing I love, we talk about this every broadcast, but Andy decided to bring heat racing into it. It brings a little bit of that Saturday night, and for us up here in Vermont, it's a Thursday night thing with the local short track racing. It's going to be a good time, man.
Well, let's go through it, Rick, real quick. Row number 1, starting tonight, and there's number 10, Travis Wright, Rex Hoyle. Going to be on his outside. Then you've got Andy Lambert and Bobby Summers, Dylan Blankenship, Robert Barber, and Zach Coyer making up heat number 1 as we get ready to go. Travis Wright and his number 10, a good-looking number 10 car out there. Getting set to do battle with the stars of Racing for a Cause here on a Wednesday night. Just enough time to break up the week, Rick, and what a week it is.
It's been a long week, Chris, and you know, as we say every time we broadcast, you and I have the best schedule. We got a little break there at midweek. We're Racing for a Cause. We're with the Relentless Guys on Friday. We finish out the weekend and start the week with Blazing Pedals on Sunday night, man. I mean, what else could we ask for?
Really? Not much. As the pace car gets set and ready to go, coming down pit road, gonna unleash these super late model cars on Myrtle Beach Speedway, getting ready to go. Travis Wright up front, Rex Hoyle making up the front row, and we are green flag heat number 1 on the way, 12 laps. Travis Wright with a really nice restart in a 44 car. That's Dylan Blankenship. He is rocket shipping, trying to get it up in the second spot right now. He has it. Rex Hoyle stuck to the outside. Andy Lambert sticking a nose to the inside in his 70. Andy Lambert trying to hold strong.
Now, 2 weeks ago, Andy Lambert won his heat. He's got some stiff competition out there tonight, Chris. Dylan Blankenship, Rex Hoyle's there, Zach Coldbeer, Coyer, Bobby Summers. He makes it out here. Good to see Bobby out here. Bobby, hope everything's doing well. I know there for a while when Chris and I were part of Racing for a Cause, you were going through some issues, so hopefully everything has worked out, but you're doing a good job there, sitting in 6th right now.
Andy Lambert fighting still with Rex Hoyle for 3rd. Rex may have to give it up. Tires won't hold on outside for very long. Looks like Andy has a pretty good edge on him now, and look at this to the inside. Zach Coyer may be trying to take advantage. Rex Hoyle stuck on the outside. Oh, Coyer gets loose into Hoyle, and around Coyer goes. Brings out caution in heat number 1. We'll go back, take a look, but it was pretty evident. A little bit of contact, and Coyer goes around. Unfortunately, taking Hoyle along with the for the ride, and we'll go back and take a look from Hoyle's point of view. Rex Hoyle in the 50 on the outside. A little bump there, and hard into the inside wall. Expires a motor, and he backs it to the fence to try and keep it off the road. Oh, does not expire the motor. Tough little car, these things. Back to live. 7 laps to go. Heat number 1. Action happening already on the track. Terry Foster, Brad Spinks, good to see you guys out there. Thank you. Everybody at Racing for Cause, and I know Andy especially appreciates that and the support. It's tough times. It's tough times. Pace car heading into turn 1 and 2, and the lights are still on, so we've got at least another lap and a half before these guys go back under the green. Heat racing, not really for points, Rick, but it does help set the field for the A main. And these guys gonna get it done.
I mean, not only are they racing for a starting position, Chris, they're also racing for some bonus points too. So really comes into play on where you finish on these things. Right now, that 10 machine, Travis Wright, doing a heck of a job out there, but he's going to have Dylan Blankenship right on his outside. He's going to have Andy Lambert right behind him. So it's going to be a good time here on this restart. The lights are off on the pace car.
Lights are off on the pace car, and they start lining up. Travis Wright to the inside, Blankenship to the outside. Andy Lambert maybe in the catbird seat inside, second row. Bobby Summers has worked his way up to 4th. Robert Barber sitting in 5th. Hoyle and Zach Coyer back out on track. Coyer actually never had to come in. Looks like Hoyle just came in and got a little bit of repairs done on that 50. Going to be 4 laps to go, and these guys retake the green. Leader's choice when the pace car comes in. Waiting for that straight shot is the number 10. And we are live. Green flag up in the air. Dive bombing into turn 1. Every single car, all 7 of them, making it stick. Dylan Blankenship maybe trying to challenge for the lead. Lets that 44 sail through turn 4. Keeps it off the wall. Loses a little bit of ground maybe, but Dylan trying to figure out a way around this track. Rick, we haven't talked about them yet, but those little rumple strips through the corners of 1 and 2, those things, they'll set you flying.
They definitely will. That is something that these guys have to look out for, especially as the feature goes on, Chris. 150 laps here. I mean, these guys, their arms are going to be tired tonight.
Dylan Blankenship dives down hard to the inside of the 10, maybe a little rub there. Blankenship not able to pull it off as he had position. The 10, Travis Wright, fights back on the outside and has control of the field once again down the backstretch. Blankenship looking again. Checkered flag is out. Travis Wright takes heat number 1. Man, I will tell you, if it's going to be like this all night, oh boy, we're going to be in for some good racing. Oh, man. Brad, no. Family always first, bud. Always. I'm sorry to hear that. Hope she's okay. Hope she will be okay. Hate hearing that. All right, guys. We have to get ready for Heat 2, and here it comes. We've got Troy Radford out front in his National Kidney Foundation number 94. On his outside, it's going to be Doug Wasaki. Inside, second row, Tyler Jordan in the 29, the 52 of Tyler Hilton. And you've got Justin Rigsby starting in 5th spot. Mike Holtzclaw with shotgun position on this heat. Pace car lights are off, Rick. They're getting set to go. And these guys getting ready to do some battle. Front row, interesting. Last week, Doug Wasaki, very racy, finishing in top 10 in that 45. Maybe looking to try and build some momentum going into next season.
Yeah, Doug's one of those great racers. Had a good race, man. Always cool, calm, and collective, Chris. He just does his thing and has a lot of fun out there. Now he's starting on that second position with Troy Radford sitting in first. Troy's got a teammate out there in the 52, Tyler Hilton. It's good to see Tyler. Usually Tyler gets stuck working, so it's good to see him out here, kind of his home track here, or one of a close home track, I should say. But right now, Radford doing everything he can. Ooh, the 29 and the 45 get together a little bit. Chris 29's able to hang on to it. Doug
3 wide!
3 wide.
3 wide. Holy cow. It's heat racing, guys.
These guys are racing like it's on lap 145, Chris.
Up front, it's Troy Radford, Tyler Jordan picking up second spot. Then you have Justin Rigsby and Doug Wasaki falling back to fourth. Tyler Hilton making a rare... Well, he's
appearance.
Here. No,
he's here. He is here.
I was going to say it's rare, but you know, he has sponsored a couple of races. He just hasn't been able to race a lot. We've gotten to talk to him. And Tyler Hilton, one of those guys that really does help make this league go around.
Well, you know, my respects go out to Tyler Hilton also, Chris. He is a 911 dispatcher down at High Point, North Carolina. So sometimes when things get a little hairy down there, some storms come through, he gets called into work. But still, he's very dedicated here to the guys that are racing for a cause. Like you said, he does present and host a bunch of races here. And supports them, supports these guys. Another guy that I'm happy to see is a guy right now out in front, 94, Troy Radford. Troy Radford, another one, you know, usually stuck at work, but not tonight, man. These guys are ready to take on Myrtle Beach.
What a track to come back on, Rick. This little track is fast. And the thing they have to be careful of, tires. Tires going to be very important tonight. The sun already starting to set. Track temperature already down to 69 degrees. These guys definitely hanging on here in heat number 2. Troy Radford up front. Tyler Jordan, Justin Rigsby finish out the top 3. Doug Wasaki holding on to 4th. He's got Tyler Hilton behind him, maybe trying to make up some ground here. Mike Holtzclaw hanging out towards the back. A big gap for Radford, almost 1 second over second place Rigsby. And then it's put a blanket over Rigsby, Jordan, Wasaki, and Hilton. Tyler Hilton maybe looking to get a little racy as he drops down a half a line. Wasaki able to defend. Car's starting to stretch out now a little bit, Rick. Oh, just as I say that, 52 goes into turn 3 hard. Not quite able to get there. Falls back in line behind Doug.
I think we might see that tonight. I mean, this track is kind of a difficult track, Chris. There's really only one line, so if a guy can get out front, and right now the way that Troy Radford is going, we're going to see this field kind of spread out a little bit, but further back we're going to see a lot of good, close, hard racing.
94, Troy Radford looking to win heat race number 2. Justin Rigsby, Tyler Jordan looking to finish it up strong, second and third. And across the line goes Radford. He is the heat number 2 winner. So congratulations to the 94. Setting up for heat number 3 now. And there is the current points leader starting on the pole in the number 8. It's going to be Matt Votty. To his outside, Rick Tony Quadros. Inside, second row, Steve Baker, Brian Hacker, last week's winner, starting second row outside. The KR Stolfus, starting in 5th spot with Matthew Spinks. Spink sitting in second in points, but he is starting to nibble at him. And that car would love to see the front of the pack here tonight in the A main.
And you'd also like to see that number 8 car be in the back of the pack, Chris. I mean, these guys have a very close 17 points separating the two of them. Man, it is just amazing.
It really is. To be that close, so deep into the racing. Wow.
And Matt, as Chris said earlier, and to you, Brad, obviously our thoughts and prayers are with you, your mother-in-law there. Unfortunate. Hopefully she can pull through and everything get taken care of. Definitely in our thoughts and prayers tonight.
Pace car comes on down pit road. Matt Vaughty picks up the pace. Tony Quadros on the outside looking to challenge early. Steve Baker, dark horse, sitting there in third spot, may have something for everybody here tonight. Green flag in the air. Vaughty takes off in the 55, follows suit, maybe trying for second spot right off. Tony Quadros stuck to the outside. Oh, the 11 goes around. Brian Hacker goes around facing the wrong way on the track, and we're going to have to go under caution. Don't believe there was contact. I believe he just went loose. We'll go back and take a peek. Oh, okay. Never mind. The KR Stolfus may have had a little something to do with that one. We saw a little bit of contact there. We're back live. So heat 1 with 1 caution. Heat 2, no cautions. Heat 3 brings out the first one, lap number 1.
And I mean, we talked about tires coming into play, Chris. So a huge thing about this, it's a no tire rule, man. These guys have to suck it out for 150 laps under the main feature. That's going to get real interesting. You're going to see some guys who are going to try to pull away. They'll burn up those tires a little bit. You're going to see guys hanging out in the back trying to save them as long as they possibly can. So this is going to be really interesting. Like you said, the longest race of the season. This was supposed to be the championship race. They mixed things up a little bit. The champion will be crowned next Wednesday as we head to Chris and I's home track. I had to choke there to say that. I had to bite my tongue a little bit. But we're heading to New Hampshire, the Magic Mile.
I don't mind New Hampshire one bit. Somebody else may.
It's my favorite NASCAR track ever.
I could hear the disdain there.
It's not a bad track. It's a good flat track. These cars, it's going to be a lot of fun driving on that track with these cars. I mean, I know we tried it in the trucks. We tried it in the A and B cars. We tried it in the late models. It wasn't too bad there, but man, Andy bringing the super late models on this season. They're going to be continuing it on next season. They are going to be taking a little break during the summer, which is kind of understandable. As I said earlier at the beginning of the broadcast, a lot of these drivers here at Racing for a Cause actually race in real life. Andy is a crew member on Chris and I's favorite local driver, the number 16 of Scott Dragon down there at this nation's side of excitement, Barry Thunder Road, baby. Which I'm hoping to get there Sunday if the weather holds out, Chris. But right now, we have heat number 3. The lights on the pace car have turned off, and we're getting ready to go green flag once again.
Matt Vaughty, current heat leader in the number 8. He started on the pole, and it hasn't changed since. Tony Quadros is going to be putting the challenge up on the outside. Steve Baker and Matthew Spinks rounding out the top 4. Vaughty hardly waits, and he has gone like a rocket. Steve Baker followed him, not able to keep up right off, though. And the 55 takes over second spot. Tony Quadros going backwards. Here comes Brian Hacker. Brian Hacker looks like he is trying to put the challenge on. Quadros stuck on the outside. We've seen it all night so far. Outside, not the place you want to be. The 35 has to check up a little contact between the 11 and the 12. And now the 12 goes around.
The 35 goes around.
Okay, we're going to make sense of this. We're going to have to go back. So right now we're looking at the 12. A little bit of damage to the right front. May have had some contact with the 35. The 35 gets into those rumble strips, and we talked about those already. We'll focus now on the 35. Looks like the 12 may have come down on the 35 a little bit. And as he got back into the gas pedal, around that car went. No damage, though. He was able to manage to keep it off the wall. So we are under caution again here on heat number 3 as we go back live.
And again, we mentioned it already, Chris. You got to watch out for those little turtle shells down there. Not only will they rip out your oil pan and end your night very quickly, but what just happened can happen. If you try to go down and try to dodge something, it's going to upset that car enough to where you're just going to kind of spin around. Both drivers did a good job keeping it off the wall, though. Chris Mepper, thanks for checking in, brother.
Yeah, Chris, it's the old RFC rules set on the short tracks. Leader's discretion. As soon as the pace car comes in, the leader can go at any point. And man, did Vadi go. This time, however, he's going to have a new challenger. Although it's going to be a short lap. It may be a one-lap shootout here in heat number 3. As Steve Baker going to be coming to his outside. Brian Hacker up to 3rd. The KR Stolfus going to bring that 77 up to the 2nd row outside.
KR did a good job too, Chris. I'm sure everyone out there has noticed, but he has changed up his paint scheme just a little bit there. That T3RN looking really good there on the quarter panels of that black and purple car. A glitter and grace. If you guys haven't yet, definitely if you watch streams over there on Twitch, go to the Outlaw 77S on Twitch and give KR a follow there. That's where I met KR, Chris. I mean, great guy. He was a part of Max Speed TV back then, and I clicked with him. I mean, he's just like you and I. Just, you know, he's a brother from another mother, man. So glad that he has been able to join us here on T3RN as a broadcaster.
Rick pace car is in. We're setting up for a one-lap shootout. When we go back to green, and Matt Vadi didn't get the memo, but we are there. 1 lap to go to finish out heat number 3.
And look at the 11 of Brian Hacker, Chris, pouring it on right now, going toe-to-toe with Steve Baker in that JDRF Toyota number 55. These guys are battling it out for 2nd position. Matthew Spink sitting there going, man, what are you guys going to do? He's going to look on the inside of Steve Baker.
Checkered flag waves. It's Vadi, Hacker, Baker, Spinks. What a great... So heat racing's done, guys. We're going to have 5 minutes here, and we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back. And we are back. Told you it was going to be a quick break, guys. And I've got somebody that I caught up with here up in the booth. And it's Andy Lambert. Andy is tonight's sponsor. And unfortunately, he's also the son-in-law for Helen Shedd, who passed away recently due to MS. Andy, first of all, how is the family doing?
I think everybody's doing okay, you know, considering the situation. Last month to a couple of weeks was pretty hard, but she had been suffering for a long time. She was first diagnosed in 2005, and Helen put up a good fight for all these years, but the last year was rough, and then the last month and weeks leading up was really rough on the family. But all things considered, I think they're doing well knowing that she's not suffering anymore. And they're just trying to get back to, you know, some sort of normalcy or a new normal. And so it's taking it one day at a time.
All right, bud. Well, you know, the advantage that you and Rick and I have is we're only a town apart, and you know, if you ever need anything, we're going to be right there for you. So we offer that out again, and thoughts, prayers, obviously, go to you and Melissa, the whole family, and of course, we've been thinking about you.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's great having you guys right here. Same goes to you guys. Anytime you guys need anything, I'm right here for you. It's the great thing about racing for a cause when this all started was we're all within a few minutes of each other, and we could sit and talk to each other, and that's what made this thing great, is we could bring causes to things that we care about the most. You know, you have family members. We all have family members that have some kind of ailment if we don't have it ourselves, and this is a good way to, you know, a good platform to bring not only those ailments that they're suffering with, but the foundations and charities that are working to eliminate these diseases that wreak havoc on families all across the country, all across the world.
Well said. All right, bud, I'm going to put you back down into the race room, get you ready to go racing tonight. You've got about a minute 20 before it goes green.
All right, guys, thank you for all the work you do on the broadcast. They're great. I love them. Love watching them. I know everybody here really loves watching them, so thanks again.
All right, Andy. Have a good race, bud.
Thank you.
Driver of the number 70, and again, tonight's sponsor, if you will. It's not really the right word, but Andy Lambert, good friend of mine and Rick's, and you can feel it, Rick. You can feel it in his voice. It's okay, but it's not okay.
You're absolutely right, Chris. I mean, you, me, and Andy, I mean, Racing for a Cause started at McDonald's, and I'm kind of tearing up a little bit, but pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, Rick. Well, no more time to be wasted. We're going to get ready to go to the green flag, and that means it's time to bring out a little qualifying music. "19 drivers getting set to take on Myrtle Beach, and they're going to be headed up by the number 35 of Matthew Spinks. Doug Wasaki and the number 45 going to be starting on the outside. Row number 2 going to be made up of the 08 Robert Barber and the 55 of Steve Baker. Row number 3, starting 5th place, it's Tyler Jordan. On his outside, Andy Lambert. Starting in row number 4, 7th position, Rick, it's going to be Brian Hacker. To his outside, Justin Rigsby.
Starting row number 5, Chris, going to be the 44 of Dylan Blankenship in 9th. You got Matt Body, the points leader, in the number 8, starting 10th tonight. You got T. Roy Radford in that number 94, starting in 11th in row number 6. Next to him, Travis Wright, starting 12th in that number 10 machine. 13th is going to be the 17 of Bobby Summers. 14th, Tyler Hilton in the number 52 machine. 15th is going to be the 12 of Tony Quadros. Next to him, Zach Coldbeer Coyer, starts at number 15 car in 16th place. Then we have Mike Holtzclaw in 17th. The KR Stolpus in the 77 going to be starting 18th, and rounding out the field, starting in the shotgun position, is going to be the number 50 of Rex Hoyle.
Couldn't ask for a better starting spot for that man right there in the number 35 coming in tonight. 17 points behind. The points leader, Matt Vaughty, is Matthew Spinks. Spinks looking to try and win this one from the pole. The 35 hits the go button, and we're off at Myrtle Beach. Good start from Matthew Spinks in the 35. The 45 takes it down. Hops in the race line, does Doug Wasaki. Wasaki, again, top 10 finish last week, maybe building momentum and confidence as he is hanging on to the race leader, running second position. Robert Barber in the 08, running in third. Steve Baker fourth, and look at the right next line. It's 2x2. You've got the 11, Brian Hacker, who finally gets ahead of Steve Baker in the 55. And then you've got the 44 battling it out with Andy.
Andy in that number 70 machine kind of stuck on the outside, Chris. Right now he's running next to the 99, Justin Rigsby. That's for 8th place right there. Those guys trying to figure it out. Andy just hoping that he can get down in line. If he's able to get past Rigsby, he might be able to move down, but right now Rigsby just kind of staying there doing what he has to do. Andy's going to have to try to clear him and then move back down, but that's kind of tough here on this track. It looks like he's going to be able to do it now, though.
Through horsepower and will, the 70 takes over. 8th spot cleanly. Rigsby falls to 9th. Starting to notice the sun setting on some of these white cars. You can see it right there on the track, too. Matthew Spinks up front, trying to run away with it. He's got Doug Wasaki, 2nd spot. Again, Robert Barber, Tyler Jordan, and Brian Hacker making up the top 5. Baker sitting in 6th. Blankenship in the 44. 7th, Andy Lambert.
Ooh, 45 going around, Chris.
Oh, that's not good. Up front, the 45 goes around.
We're still under green right now. That is making a very good headway there for Matthew Spinks, Chris, as that gap has opened up, as the whole field had to check up a little bit. What an outstanding job by those drivers. The 45 still sitting there.
Oh,
whoa!
The leader. Oh, under caution now. Doug Wasaki had no choice, had to back up on track. That brings out the yellow, but Matthew Spinks almost into him. We're going to have to go way back now to see what happened. The 45. Doug Wasaki, the man right now that we are talking about. Happened around turn 2, so we're going to see if maybe he hit the turtles. Oh, he may have had a little help there. The 08 had a good run. Robert Barber may have made a little contact, sends the 45 around, Rick.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Just a good run there. Short track racing, man. I mean, everyone's fighting for the same piece of real estate there. Unfortunate for both those guys there.
We are back live here for Racing for a Cause, getting set to do some more battling. But right now, under caution number 1, 9 laps in. Matthew Spinks has the lead.
Leading 8 laps so far tonight.
Going to check in with the points leader. That's the number 8 car, Matt Vaughty, and he is actually fallen, Rick, down to 16th position.
Yeah, that's exactly what Spinks wants to see out there, Chris. He wants a good, strong finish up towards the front. He wants to see Vaughty back a little ways. I mean, 17 points. He's already made up 1 bonus point per leading a lap. He can get more if he leads the most laps here tonight. He did good in his heat race, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. Still got a lot of racing left to go, though. We got 140 laps still to go under what will be the lights here at Myrtle Beach, man. 150 laps for the Racing for a Cause Race to Race MS 150. And I got a little choked up before. I wasn't able to say what I wanted to say, though, but I want to thank Andy for running the MS paint. I mean, Chris, as you know, when we started this league, you were running the JDRF for your son and your dad. I was running the MS paint scheme for my aunt and uncle, who both battle MS every day. And Andy came in with the Children's Miracle Network for a little while, switched over to the Crohn's disease in support of his wife, and now running kind of mix-up paint there with both of those on there. So thank you, Andy. And just an awesome story of how Racing for a Cause started. Andy, Chris, and I, we started that. We're all local here. We met up one day at a local McDonald's, and we made the draft for Racing for a Cause on a McDonald's napkin, man. It was an amazing thing. It was a good time just spending time with my brothers and my friends, and it's great to see these guys, both Andy Lambert and Troy Radford, continuing on what Chris and I and Andy have built at Racing for a Cause. So it's amazing to see.
Throw one more name out there. He kind of sits in the back seat, does his own little thing, but Rick Greenaway, also a big motivator here for Racing for a Cause, actually going to be running a developmental series, this summer. So these guys won't have nothing to do all summer, but if they have a chance, they'll be able to hit the track. Up front, it is Matthew Spinks getting ready to take the green flag once again. The field is on him. He hits the loud button. We are gone. 35 with a nice jump. Brian Hacker in third, looking to try and take over second spot. He's got position on the 29 of Tyler Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan had a really good restart, Chris, but he's where nobody really wants to be here tonight. He's kind of stuck there on the outside as the 55 Steve Baker closes the door on the 11 there. And right now, he moves up there, so that might allow... No, he's going to move back down. So poor Tyler Jordan stuck out there in the number 29 on that outside.
Battle we're watching right now is for second spot. You've got three cars battling for it. You've got Brian Hacker, Steve Baker, Tyler Jordan. Jordan now falls a couple of positions. Steve Baker looking for position 3. Brian Hacker frees himself. He is gone. And now so does Steve Baker. Jordan able to get into position. Position number 4. Tyler Jordan goes back a couple. It's really loose. The 44 right behind. 44 has to go up top. The 29 got loose. The 44 checks up, moves up, had enough room in front of the 94 to get back in line.
As you're watching that, Chris, I was on board with the number 52 of Tyler Hilton back there in 11th position right now. Him, Rex Hoyle, and KR almost making it 3 wide. Oh, we're under caution.
Caution one more time. Looks like it's for the number 12 car.
Number 12, yep.
Quadros. We'll go back. He is on the outside of KR. Looks like they're that way heading into turns 3 and 4. Quadros actually has a little bit of an advantage there. Oh boy, the KR may have gotten into the left rear of the 12. I don't know if the 12 came down or what. We're going to have to go back and look at that again. 77 came up, 12 holding his line. The KR with a very rare mistake there, as we are under caution number 2. Matthew Spink, still your race leader. He's led every lap so far and looking to lead more. He's going to have a new challenger, Rick, on the outside this time. It's going to be Brian Hacker, but he'll have Steve Baker behind him. Baker trying to push that JDRF Toyota to the front. I would like to say thank you once again to Steve for running that sponsor. He had his choice. He could have picked anything, and he went ahead and did JDRF, and I thank him for that.
You know, Steve Baker's been with Racing for a Cause for quite a while, Chris. I mean, he came in, I think he was late in season 1 with us. We started this league with 9 drivers on the track, and as you can see today, I mean, these guys are running this. We got Rick Greenaway doing the development series there for the summer, which is outstanding. I mean, Rick came here. I actually found Rick on the iRacing forums. He was trying to start up a truck league. He's another local New Englander, so a great guy, a firefighter just like I was. We hit it off right off, but, you know, he's doing a good job. And then we have Troy Radford doing the NASCAR stuff on Tuesday night, so it's just amazing what these guys do. And you're absolutely right, Chris. I mean, how cool is that? I mean, you and I, we stepped away so that we could pursue our broadcasting career, and I'm glad that we actually got to do it. I do miss our brothers at RFC, but how cool is it to see? I mean, we got Andy running the MS Paint, kind of picking up my sponsor. You got Steve Baker out there picking up your sponsor, man. That's just amazing amazing thing to see, and it really means a lot to us, guys. When you watch this, I hope you really do know how much Chris and I both appreciate what you guys do. You bring the league exactly in the direction that Chris and I and Andy always envisioned, and we're very proud of you. So thank you.
I'm going to throw out one more piece of information. He didn't come in late, Baker. He was actually the season one.
Was he one of the first?
He was
champion.
a season one
You're right.
champion.
You're absolutely right. And he has the trophy to prove it, too.
That's right.
He's got the trophy. Patrick Smith out there, I know he went off to do his own thing there, but Patrick Smith, a very integral part there in the beginning of RFC also. Wanted to make sure that Steve Baker had something to remember his Season 1 championship with Racing for a Cause. Chris, the lights on the pace car is off. Matthew Spinks, he's like, okay, boys. He held back a little bit there, and I kind of like that, man. Ooh, the 29.
29 goes around. I was not live, so I missed part of that, but I'm going to be able to go back and show it as we're under caution. Number 3.
Ooh, it looks like 55 Steve Baker might have gotten to a little bit there, too.
Yeah,
the commentator curse.
We'll back right up to the restart here because it happened pretty quick into it.
Yeah, 77 and 12.
Baker may have spun his tires. The 29 got into the back of him, and it went down from there.
The commentator curse, folks. You won't hear that on too many other broadcasts, but Chris and I always own up to it. Whenever we start talking about people, man, it always seems to happen. But hey, listen, we want to put these guys out there. We want them to be recognized, and we appreciate everybody out there, just like we do everybody watching here with Chris and I here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Hit those thumbs up there. Give the RFC guys some love. If you haven't yet, hit that red subscribe button and notification bell to know when we go live.
So 55 to 29. Looks like the 94 was able to stay off of it, but the 70 was not. The 17 not able to. So quite a few damaged vehicles out there, including Andy Lambert.
Yeah, Andy heading down pit road now.
Steve
Get some
Baker
service
coming
done.
down pit road. Robert Barber coming down pit road. Lambert on pit road.
Chris Medford, Brad Spinks, Terry Foster. I want to definitely I'm going to raise my beer up to you guys. Thank you so much for coming out here, keeping track, the chat active here for Chris and I. We love chatting with everybody, so if you're watching and you haven't yet, definitely say something in chat. We'll shout out your name. We love you guys hanging out here with us on Wednesday nights. A lot of you are here on Thursday nights with us too with the Relentless. Sunday, Terry, you're not in chat, but you're out on the track there with the awesome Blazing Pedals TRJ Karting Truck Series, man. I know we're off this week with that, but we're looking forward to Atlanta, man. That's going to be a good time.
Pace car is coming down pit road. These cars setting up to go again. It's the 35 of Spinks and the 11 of Hacker leading the charge. Matthew Spinks has control of the field. The loud pedal. He hits it and he's gone. Brian Hacker going to be looking to drop down into the bottom line. He does. First car on the outside, the 44. That's Dylan Blankenship. He's outside of the 29 of Tyler Jordan. Blankenship looking to battle on the outside.
We're under caution once again.
And unfortunately, it looks like Lambert and Rex Hoyle may be involved in this one. So Andy was trying to catch the tail end of the field, it looks like. Oh, and Rex Hoyle pulled out on track, and Andy didn't see it happening, and wicked collision between him and Hoyle.
Pit road exit's kind of tricky here. I mean, you got to go through and you got to be mindful of those turtle shells, Chris, because they're right there until you can merge onto the track there. And it's kind of hard to see when you're coming around the corner, just like what we saw. Rex Hoyle kind of just popped out. Andy wasn't able to catch it there on time.
Fourth caution of this young race, Rick, sitting here on lap number 30. If these guys hit 5 cautions, they start doing single file restarts.
One interesting to note, Chris, Matthew Spinks, that number 35 machine, he changes it up pretty much every restart. Sometimes he restarts right about now as they cross that commitment line, and he'll start there. The second time, not this last restart, but the one before that, he actually went up towards the start-finish line a little bit more, so he's trying to keep Brian Hacker there guessing on when he's going to go. So we'll see what happens there as we get through these pace laps here and we get ready to go green once again and see where he actually starts. But doing a great job out there so far. He's led every lap so far. That's all 30 of this 150 lap race. We race MS 150 here at Myrtle Beach for the Racing for a Cause Super Late Models.
Unfortunately, it looks like Rex Hoyle, Andy Lambert still on pit road. Their night all but over, as Hoyle is 2 laps down and Lambert 3 laps down now. That's a tough thing to come back from. Matt Votty, current points leader, has made his way back up into the top 10, running in 10th right now. So Spinks feeling the pressure to stay up there and lead every single lap, if at all possible. Pace car lights fall. Cars start lining up 2 by 2. We get ready to go back to green flag action. Less than a half a mile to go before the green flag falls. Once again, you see the 12 car, Tony Quadros, making it back out on track. Really unfortunate there for Andy is he was just trying to catch the tail end of the pack and did not see Hoyle. Hoyle backing up onto the track and they collided. But we are getting set to go green. It's on the 35, Matthew Spinks. And a great restart once again, really keeping that 11 guessing. And here comes Dylan Blankenship. Blankenship in the 44, moving up. And he's got the line, he's got the move. The 44 takes over second spot. Hacker's stuck on the outside. He's got Tyler Jordan in the 29, trying to make his way there. Can't do it. Hacker drops down. Watch out, because that can sometimes bunch up the guys behind you. The 99, Justin Rigsby kicks out. The 94, Troy Radford underneath. Troy Radford cracking into the top 5 now. Troy Radford in that 94, another guy. Rare to see him out here on a Wednesday night. But here he is, and he is looking to finish in the top 5. But Rigsby doing a good job on the outside. Actually took it back for a second, and now starts to fall. Very hard to be out there for that long. You know it's tearing up your tires, and you want to get back in line, but you don't want to give up that position. It's a tough call. T-Roy, 5th spot across the line, and the battle is here. The 94 and the 99 getting it on. Looks like the 94 may have a bit of an advantage this time heading into turn 3. The 52 looking down low. Rigsby has to be careful. It's one thing to give up 1 spot, to maybe give up 2. That could be devastating for the 99.
And it looks like Zach Coldbeer acquired the 15, decided against trying to stay on the outside. He falls in behind the number 52. The 99, Justin Rigsby, able to fall down in line behind the 94 of T-Roy Radford. Got Terry Forster out there saying, T-Roy, funny. You're absolutely right. So when Chris and I were racing for a cause, we're always looking for nicknames for everybody. And Troy Radford actually got named that at his local track there with his dad. So pretty cool, and it just kind of stuck there.
Ray Radford, if you're ever watching this, hello. It's been too long, my friend. 52, Tyler Hilton, having a good run out there, kind of bouncing off the wall, but able to keep that 52 straight. And he's currently in 7th spot. Zach Coyer right behind him. And then it's the points leader, the 8 car, Matt Votty, KR Stolfus running the top 10. The KR sitting in 10th spot, and his number 77, Turn 3 Racing Network Chevrolet. He's being followed by Travis Wright. Wright had a fantastic heat to start the night. Started back in the field just a little bit, having trouble working his way through. A little damage to the front end of that car. Mike Holtzclaw actually came in the last in his heat. He's sitting here in 12th position ahead of a few notables, namely that of Steve Baker, who just passed Doug Wasaki for 13th. Lots of damage to that 55 car, and there's some on the 45 right behind him. Wasaki has some damage to the left front. That came very early on. Caution number 1, in fact, between himself and the 08 of Robert Barber. Bobby Summers hanging out in the 17 car, running 15th spot, and right behind him is Robert Barber in the 08 car. Tony Quadros, the last car that's running, sitting in 17th. Hoyle and Lambert still sitting on pit road. That was a run through the field. And Rick, the 35, still holding strong up front with Dylan Blankenship trying to put on a challenge.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The 44 was able to get around to the 11 of Brian Hacker, Chris. It has been catching to that back bumper of Matthew Spinks. Matthew still has a good little lead there, about a half a car, maybe a car length. Doing a fabulous job out there, but Dylan's definitely trying to chase him down right now. Chris, I want to give a quick shout out to the number 52, Tyler Hilton. Been a huge supporter racing for a cause. A great guy, and just so you guys know, if you're ever looking for any kind of gift for a family member, a wife, or anything like that, I just want to let you know you can head over to Facebook, and I'm going to post a link there in chat. You can head over to facebook.com, Crafts by Hilton, and do what you got to do there. It's just amazing. He makes some really cool candles and a lot of other things there. I've actually had to purchase a couple myself, waiting for the new scents to come out there, but definitely head on over, give him a little help out, at least like his page, maybe give him a share there if you're not interested in any kind of candles or crafts or anything like that, but just a fabulous thing that he does. Definitely want to throw that out there.
.35, Matthew Spinks starting to pick up a pretty good sized lead right now, almost a half a second. He's got Dylan Blankenship behind him. Brian Hacker, who was battling for the lead not long ago, sitting in 3rd spot, maybe trying to save a little bit of tire. 1/3 of the way through this one, and the 29 Tyler Jordan sitting in 4th place. T-Roy running it up in the top 5. Justin Rigsby sitting in the 6th spot right now with Tyler Hilton behind him. Matt Vaughty's running in 8th. Zach Coyer running in 9th position right now. The KR Stolfus still sitting in 10th spot. Not for nothing, but that's a pretty good run right there for KR. KR still trying to learn this car, and with tonight's race and next week to go, he is actually starting to get pretty decent in here, get comfortable with the 77, and holding on to a top 10. That would be huge for KR. Would like to thank everybody who comes out and watches with us live or checks us out after the race. We appreciate it, guys. And make sure, if this is your first time here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, you hit that thumbs up, notify, subscribe. You know what to do. Just do it. Get it done. And make sure, for the love of God, you understand that when you give a thumbs up or a thumbs down, it's not really for Rick or I. We're just sitting here talking. You're really supporting the league. So thumbs up to this league having a memorial race tonight for Andy's mother-in-law, and that's what this league is all about. Tyler Jordan, in number 29, finds himself between Packer and T. Roy Radford, and he's having a pretty good run here in that 29. Ryan Hacker may be starting to close the gap a little bit on Dylan Blankenship, Rick. And that's going to be a battle to watch. That's going to be for 2nd spot. Hacker's going to have to be very, very careful about how he goes around, because one miscue, and he's got Tyler Jordan and Troy Radford right there ready to pounce. Got a car stopped on track. It looks like it's the number 12, Tony Quadros, being very careful about where he wants to come back on the track. Quadros sitting there. Quadros now starting to get that 12 back under power and coming up to speed, so no caution. The race right now for second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Blankenship running in second position, Brian Hacker and Tyler Jordan, followed by T. Roy Radford and Justin Rigsby. Good battle between these cars. Short track racing so hard to pass on, Rick, and really the inside is where you want to do it. It's tough if the guys are holding their lines, but as this race wears on, tires will start to fade. The fuel tank is going to lighten up a little bit, and that's going to change the handling characteristics of these cars by a big margin.
Yeah, it definitely is, Chris. I mean, I'm sitting there, I'm looking at the track temperatures. Got up a little bit there as these cars are going around, starting to lay some rubber down, sitting at 72 degrees, so the track has plenty of grip.
Troy Radford got into the back of the 29. The 29 punted the wall, but was able to bounce off in a way where he was able to continue going. That's not the way that Troy likes to pass, but unfortunately, again, short track racing, no place to go. The 29 just started braking a little sooner than Troy was ready for. Brad, I think that's so cool. Being able to watch on a big screen, isn't that fun? Under caution one more time. Gonna have to figure out where that one came from. Perhaps the 15 of Zach Coyer as he is down on speed. We'll go back and take a look. So Zach Coyer to the outside of KR. And it looks like Coyer trying to follow Vadi. Oh, KR had a huge head of steam through that corner and just clips into the back of the 15. Coyer to the inside retaining wall. Very light hit, but KR sent him around. And that brings out caution number 5. From here on out, we will be restarting single file. Going to take this opportunity, guys, to take a quick break. We're going to be right back. And we're back live, and it looks like Zach Coyer may be taking responsibility for that one as he is sending himself to the end of the field. And that's going to move KR up into 8th position. Travis Wright takes over 9th. Doug Wasaki, who started on the outside first row here tonight, going to be restarting this one in 10th position. Current points leader coming into tonight, the 8 car, Matt Vadi, has moved up in the 7th position. And Matthew Spink, 2nd place, behind by 17 points, is still leading this race, has led 68 laps so far. Every single lap, has the fastest time on the race circuit tonight at an 18:145. Dylan Blankenship and Tyler Jordan very close on that speed chart. Blankenship at 18:150, Jordan a 152. That's ultra close. Pace car lights are off. We're getting set to go back to the green flag. They're working the backstretch right now. It's Spinks, Blankenship, Hacker, and Troy Radford making up the top 4. The 99, Justin Rigsby in 5th. Tyler Hilton in the 52.6 as we get ready to go in the 35 with a nice early launch. The 44 able to kind of stay right there. And the 94 of Troy Radford battling on the outside.
We've seen most guys try to pass on the inside, Chris, but I want to keep my eye on the 94 of T-Roy Radford. He is one driver that will not give up and do everything he has to do. He's going to race clean, and he's going to try to get up into that second position right now. Him and Dylan Blankenship, who is on the inside, fighting it out right now. It looks like right now Troy Radford is clear. Troy Radford moves up into second position, followed by Blankenship. Blankenship's got Brian Hacker all over his back bumper. Hacker looks on the inside as they come into the corner. Not able to do much as the 94 moves down. 44 follows him there. These guys doing one heck of a job trying to move up, trying to catch Matthew Spinks, who's been dominating this race so far, leading 72 of the laps led so far, which is every single one. Now 73, doing a fabulous job out there, Matthew.
Yeah, if he can hang on for just a couple more laps, he'll have the most laps led locked down. Good enough for a bonus point. Here comes
that's kind of cool.
Blankenship.
I have a little bit of a oh, we're under caution, Chris.
May have involved the 12 of Tony Quadros. We'll go back and take a look. Quadros down on speed. That 12 car all baked up. Front end has seen better days.
Looks like he just got into the wall there as he crossed the start-finish line there, Chris.
Yeah, that car wasn't handling properly, and it looks like he had some blinking issues too. So a couple of things going on there for Tony Quadros, down one lap.
Now, as I was saying before, that yellow flag flew, Chris, I've got a little bit of a complex. I mean, here we are. We're on Brad's 50-inch TV, man, front and center in his living room. Probably a bunch of people laughing at us, throwing beer cans and chips at us, but hey, it's all good. And listen, Terry Foster, when you get out of racing and you need to come up to the Hammond Hotel, which I renamed here for Racing for a Cause, the Lagoo Lounge, because you guys came up with that, and I kind of like A. Don't forget the A. I was gonna let it slide this time, but you're more than welcome, man. I mean, us here at T3RN, we're always looking for co-chairs. We're looking for broadcasters. If somebody watches this and interested in the broadcasting, definitely hit us up. All our information is down in the description below. And I think that'd be a good time. Even, if you scale it back a little bit. I mean, I don't want to lose you on Sunday nights, man, because I love watching that Bud Light car fly around and do what it has to do. But you're more than welcome to be here with us, man. Be a good time. And I'll even pack the Bud Light, man. And, of course, awesome Orange Vanilla Coke Zero. Gotta have that, too.
While he's on his TRJ cart.
I haven't gotten that far yet, but I have purchased everything else I possibly could. I got a Racing for a Cure t-shirt. I got the TRJ sweatshirt and t-shirt. I have some Alpine Racing karting shoes here. I got some Racing for a Cure Autism Speaks racing gloves. I have poster. I have a sticker sitting on the front of my computer. I have one on my truck, one on my simulator. I'll be eating my Hellmann's and banana sandwiches. We can go all night long.
Unbelievable. I think what Tim needs to do is just start sending you random pieces. One of them.
He gave me the first one already, Chris. I also, free of charge, of course, I have a Uniline box cutter that fell into my box. The last one that Tim Habiak sent to me from trjkarting.com, Chris. So I have that here. It's going to sit here on my desk as a reminder of our friendship.
Pace car lights are off, Rick. Getting ready to go again. And like I said, these guys now going to be going single file. So you've got the 35 of Matthew Spinks, Troy Radford behind him, followed by Dylan Blankenship in third. Justin Rigsby picking up fourth spot. Matt Votty has worked his way to fifth. As we get ready to go back to the green flag, look, some of these cars are hanging out on the top line trying to get a straighter shot out of the corner.
Well, one thing to remember now, Chris, we are at single file restarts.
Single file restarts, and the pace car comes back out. Race control scrubbing that restart, something he didn't like. So we go back around one more time. Pace car lights are still off.
Yeah, I forget a couple of sponsors. You know, I got to get to be like Michael Cozy Jr. I can't forget Dr. Squatch Soap. That will be here coming soon. It's already shipped. I'm waiting for it. I'm not going to have those sad, dry, empty balls no more.
This time we go green, and Matthew Spinks with a good run. The 94 has worked his way up in the second spot, followed by Dylan Blankenship and Rigsby. In fifth spot, it's Matt Votty, current points leader, and look out because here comes the KR Stolfus in the 77, turn 3, Racing Network, number 77, running in sixth spot. Perhaps even more impressively is they are opening up a gap over Brian Hacker, who's sitting in seventh with Tyler Jordan behind him. Doug Wasaki inside of the top 10 running ninth. Robert Barber, who was involved in the very first caution of the night, trying for position. The 10 car sitting there. Travis Wright not for position, one lap down, first car a lap down, but he is trying to get it all the spots he can on track, maybe try and get it back the old-fashioned way. Tall tail, easy to spin here. Tyler Hilton in the 52, running in 11th spot with Zach Coldbeer Coyer in the 15, running in 12th, trying to make his way forward. Steve Baker, heavily damaged number 55. That was from caution number 3. Baker still out there, definitely down on some power, but running in 13th position. Travis Wright in the 10. We already talked about him. He is running 14th. Tony Quadros, Bobby Summers, Mike Holtzclot, Rex Hoyle have retired from the race. Andy Lambert has effectively retired. Still on pit road, 22 minutes. Up front it is Matthew Spinks, followed by Troy Radford in the 94, Rick.
Absolutely right, Chris. And Brad, I love hearing history like that. Now, a couple weeks ago that we saw Matthew Spinks driving the same paint scheme as his grandfather. So now it's good to know that that number 35 is something that is tied into you guys. And he's out there doing a heck of a job out there. He's got a little bit of a different paint scheme this week. This is the one that he normally runs. It is the same colors, but that little piece of history is just awesome. And that's something that I want to give a shout out to KR also. I mean, I kind of relinquished that number of the 77. My favorite driver back in the Catamount Racing Stadium. Catamount Stadium, there we go. Local track here in Milton, Vermont that has closed. But my dad's favorite driver back in that day, and I found this out because I always asked my dad, I said, why the hell are we always eating KFC and drinking RC Cola? And he goes, because number 77, Tom Tiller, man. We have to support his sponsors. So I try to do the same thing. But KR, I relinquished that number to you because of my respect to you when I met you out on Twitch when you started racing with these guys. Definitely have no problem. My number is still out there. I love to see it. And just like all the sponsors that for you guys, I try to support your sponsors as well. And that's really cool. A little bit of fact there. That 35 out there has a meaning to the Spinks, so that is just awesome to see.
Something else awesome to see, that 35 up front, dominating this race so far, has led 90 laps of the 150. He does have Troy Radford searching around, trying to find a little additional speed out of that National Kidney Foundation number 94. The Ford versus Chevy is on again. Ford in second spot right now. Matthew Spinks wheeling this 35 around this little half-mile track very, very well tonight. Has wrapped up most laps led and hoping to win this one from the pole as the 35.
And that's something that I'm sure that's on Matthew Spinks' mind, Chris. He probably saw Troy Radford in his heat race dominating the lead when he got out there in that clean air and that National Kidney Foundation Ford. Got to keep him behind him, so he's not only driving out the windshield. Now he's glancing in that rearview mirror as that thing is full of the number 94 right now.
It's full of the 94, but right now the battle's for fourth spot. It's Justin Rigsby on the outside of Brian Hacker in the 11. Rigsby trying to get it done on the outside. His water.org number 99 trying desperately to do anything it can to move up just one position. Hacker fights back on the inside. The 99 not giving it up as they come into turn 3 and out of 4. The 99 really is doing a good job on the outside. So many times we've seen the inside just dominate, but right now the outside holding tough until now. Rigsby has to fall back in line. Matt Votty was getting a little close. Rigsby had to shut the door there. Driving out of the windshield and the mirror is the 99 of Rigsby. As Matt Votty starting to roll, and Votty has moved himself up in the 6th spot, looking for maybe take over a 5th spot from Rigsby.
And that's something that Matthew Spinks don't want to see. I mean, he probably liked it better when he saw Matt Votty in that number 8, started this race in 10th. He fell back down to 18th, now sitting in that 5th position as he's battling right now with the 99 of Justin Rigsby. Rigsby trying to do everything that he possibly can to hold on to that position from the outside. And here comes KR. KR's like, hey, I'm getting ready to get into this mix. Good job for KR, having a good run out here tonight. Finally starting to dial in that super late model.
Right now, KR is sitting back, waiting. And that's exactly what you need to do. 2x2, can't go anywhere anyway. Might as well watch and see. We may pick something up. A little bit ahead of them right now. The 44 of Blankenship and the 11 of Hacker getting it on for 3rd spot. Brian Hacker moving that 11 up. Brian Hacker takes over 3rd spot, and next up on the list is Troy Radford. So Brian Hacker with a very clean pass around Blankenship. But this battle back here hasn't finished yet. It's for 5th spot. Justin Rigsby across the line had it, but now the 8 looks like he may have picked up a slight advantage to that inside. Here comes KR. KR may be looking to try and take it over. Rigsby in trouble now on the outside. Can't seem to keep it there. And it's letting KR get right to the back bumper of either car because he's able to use both lanes. Votty almost has the 99 clear. The 99 fights back. The 99 faster on the entry of the corners. Loses a little bit and then gains it back again on the corners. 99 with a whale of a battle here with the 8. '77 still peeking in to see if he can't be a part of this one. It's for 5th spot. Dylan Blankenship has 4th, and 5th place is trying to get decided right now between Rigsby and Votty. Timing string going back and forth on these two. Up front, Spink still up in the lead.
He's under pressure by 94. T-Roy Radford getting on the inside of Spinks right now. Spink still holding on the outside. Got a little loose there.
Yeah, had to get into the gas a little sooner than he wanted, and he did get a little bit loose. Radford gave him enough room, though. Spink's able to clear him back.
I don't know about you, Chris, right now. I'm not using any of my chair. I'm literally on the edge, ready to fall off, man. These guys pouring on, having a heck of a race up here towards the front. As Brian Hacker moves in right behind Troy Radford. He's looking to see if one of these guys is going to make a mistake and maybe capitalize on that a little bit.
Justin Rigsby is doing something we haven't seen all night. And maybe it's because that second groove is starting to come in, but he is fending off points leader Matt Votty on the outside. Votty cannot make that pass clean. Every single time they come across the start-finish line, the 99 of Rigsby has about a half a car length. And now Rigsby has him clean. Rigsby able to finally move back down. Doesn't do it though, pushes up towards the wall. And Votty climbs up and gets behind Rigsby. Rigsby with a hell of a battle out on the outside here. Good racing between Rigsby and Votty, just unbelievable. And the 77 had the best show of them all right out the front of his windshield. Bring it back out front just to take a peek at the 35. Your race leader has led all 108 laps completed here so far. It's Matthew Spinks in the 35 with T-Roy. Troy Radford sitting in second. Brian Hacker, you can hear the shark music as he has gotten to the back bumper of the 94. Top 3 cars have broken away. Dylan Blankenship trying to lead the way for the second group. And here we go with Votty and Rigsby one more time. Votty trying it again on the inside. Can Rigsby fend it off one more time? I don't know. tires may be really starting to hurt now. We've done 111 laps here, Rick, and he is doing it again on the outside. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's definitely making that outside lane work for him. Chris doing a fabulous job up there. Not too many drivers have wanted to try to do that tonight, but right now Rigsby doing a fabulous job. Kind of fell in line now behind Dylan Blankenship. He got around Matt Vaughty finally. KR Stolfus in the 77 trying to look on the inside there, peeking just a little bit on the 8. I think second against it. He's going to try the outside lane right now. Going up. The cars look like they're getting a little tight out there.
Top 3 cars, Matthew Spinks, Troy Radford, Brian Hacker, have separated from 4th through 7th. Justin Rigsby is catching the back bumper of Dylan Blankenship. Blankenship now has to defend. Rigsby goes to the inside. Rigsby so fast at the closing of this race. My goodness, where is this 99 getting the tires from? ...115 laps completed. Excuse me, we're working lap 115. 114 completed. That's easy math, failed. Here comes the KR Stolfus to the inside of the 44 of Dylan Blankenship. Oh, KR gives a little door slam. Gets a little tight, but gets around. Well, I can't say clean, does it? No, it wasn't clean. The 44 thinks about giving him the bumper, but doesn't. Stays off from him. And we have separation again. Top 3 cars. Then you've got 4th place and 5th place. Matt Vaughty dives to the inside again. The 99 under pressure one more time from points leader Matt Vaughty in the 8. And Justin Rigsby has to fight him off one more time. I'm kind of at a loss for words because that outside shouldn't be able to defend like that, Rick. And here we are. That's the 3rd time we've seen it. Justin Rigsby fending off Matt Vaughty on the outside.
Yeah, Rigsby's definitely got something figured out, Chris. That 99 is happy there. And it looks like he's doing fine there, even on the inside lane. But if he needs to move on to the outside, he has no problem hanging out there right now.
Just in, it looks like the 08 Robert Barber on pit road. 7 laps down now. Barber with some either heavy damage or an engine that has expired off track. The 8 Matt Vaughty battling with the 99 of Rigsby. This is for 4th spot. And this battle has been going back and forth now for the last 40 laps or so. These two racing side by side is allowing the 77 of the KR Stolfus to kind of climb back in and become a part of it. KR running top 5 right now, and his number 77. Matthew Spinks would love to close this one out. He started on the pole tonight, has led every single lap. He's got Brian Hacker right behind him. Troy Radford, something happened to him. He is gone, 1 lap down. On pit road is Troy Radford. There is the potential for a fuel issue. I saw something about possible fuel mileage issue, and maybe Troy looked down and thought he couldn't make it.
Yeah, I definitely heard that as Andy was giving the drivers meeting, Chris. He said that it has been tested and you do have enough fuel to go all the way unless you race really hard. If you race really hard, it's kind of your fault. You got to keep your eye on that. So I bet you that's exactly what Troy Radford's probably thinking. Hey, listen, I'm going to go in, get a little splash and go, and get back out there.
We go on board Brian Hacker looking at the race leader through the windshield of Brian Hacker. Hacker has come down pit road. It was 50 laps ago. Spinks, his line has been so clean tonight. Maybe got loose a couple of times, able to reel the 35 back and the 35 fast tonight. now out the front window of current race leader Matthew Spinks. We're listening to where he's getting into the throttle and how long he's off. He picks it up a little bit past halfway through turns 1 and 2, down the straightaway, off the throttle, and picks it up almost at the end in turn 4. And he is very consistent. Listen to that throttle input. Very consistent out of Matthew Spinks right now. First place, second place. Starting to get a separation between the two. Matthew Spinks has picked up a 7/10 of a second lead. Behind Hacker, you have to go 1.8 seconds to go back to Justin Rigsby. Rigsby sitting in third spot with Vadi in fourth. KR Stolfus running top 5, fifth spot, with Dylan Blankenship running in sixth. He's got Tyler Hilton starting to catch his back bumper with 20 laps to go. Zach Cold Beer Coyer has had an up and down night. Currently sitting in 8th spot. At one time involved in an accident where he went to the tail end of the field. It was caution number 5 for the 15, and he is working his way back up through the field, currently residing 7th position. Dylan Blankenship in the 44 had a pretty good night, was running top 5 for a good portion of it. Tires starting to fade away. You see how much he is pushing towards the wall now as Tyler Jordan passes him for 8th spot, and that puts Blankenship down to 9th. Steve Baker, who through no fault of his own was in caution number 3, involved in caution number 3. Baker at one point restarted towards the back of the field, has worked his way back up to the 9th spot, but that car, unhappy, definitely doesn't have full power. Doug Wasaki started on the outside front row tonight. Looking good for a little while was Doug, but he was involved in the first caution between himself and the 08 of Robert Barber. And Wasaki right now back up in the top 10, just like last week. Solid top 10 at that 45. Running in 10th. Travis Wright, first time in with us here at Racing for a Cause, and he is doing a good job in that number 10 car. He actually won his heat, looking good out there. And Travis Wright sitting now in 11th, 1 lap down. Dylan Blankenship came down pit road, 2 lap down. Troy Radford sitting on pit road, 15 laps down. And that brings us around the field. We've got Barber, Quadro, Summers, Holtzcott, Lambert, and Hoyle, who have taken it behind the wall for the race. Looks like Blankenship just came out. $13 laps to go. Does the 35 have enough fuel? He has absolutely been dominating this race. It'd be a shame to not have enough fuel now. Skittles checking in on chat. Skittles, how are you tonight? Good to see you. You missed a good race. This man right here, Matthew Spinks, has led every single lap. He is willing that 35 around the track. While I was talking, something happened here, Rick, because the top 5 is shuffled. Brian Hacker's still in second, but look who's in third. It's the 77 of the KR Stolfus sitting in third spot. Rigsby in fourth. Vadi has fallen back to 5th spot.
You see, Chris, I was going to start there with 4th because I don't want to make that 77 have any bad luck with the commentator curse, but doing a fabulous job out there. Having an outstanding race tonight. I mean, there's a couple guys. I mean, Matthew Spinks, look at him. I mean, he hasn't had the best season. He always did well in his heats. He always started the race, but he usually got caught up in somebody else's mess throughout the race. But right now, that is not the problem. The only thing that, like you said, the question on our minds, and probably his right now, is do I have enough fuel to go the rest of the way? We got 9 laps left to go.
Well, I'll tell you exactly what he's thinking, Rick. I don't care. I'm not even looking. Because with 9 laps to go, the 35 cannot come down pit road and win this race. He has to stay out.
He's got a big enough lead right now that he can actually start saving just a little bit. I think he's going to be fine, though. We got 8 laps left to go. What an outstanding race.
1.2 second, 1.3 now second lead. The Spinks over Hacker, and then you got 2 second gap, 2.5 second gap back to KR. So KR looking to hang on. Unless something happens up front, looks like he may take third with 7 laps to go. Justin Rigsby, we saw him battling hard with Matt Vaughty right behind him in the 8. Rigsby did something tonight that I haven't seen here. He was passing and defending on the outside. The 99 hasn't figured out, but too little too late it looks like, as he is trying to catch the back bumper of the 77. Matt Vaughty came into tonight your points leader by 17 points to the leader, Matthew Spinks. Matthew Spinks looking to try and close that gap just a little bit before next week's final race of the season at New Hampshire.
You know, Chris, I want to give a shout out to all our viewers out here in T3RN. We got 11 people watching right now. We got 11 likes. That's exactly what we like to see. Guys bouncing in and out. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we appreciate you guys giving the thumbs up. Don't do it for Chris or I or us here at Turn 3 Racing Network. Do it for the Racing for a Cause. Show them the love. These guys doing an outstanding race. Unfortunately, tonight's race is being presented by Andy Lambert in memory of his mother-in-law, Helen Shedd. So it's kind of a somber race, but these guys putting on one heck of a show. And that man right there, the number 35, 3 laps left to go. Chris coming down through turn 2 right now into the backstretch. Trying to make it 2 laps to go. Doing a fabulous job tonight, man. What an outstanding race.
1 mile left to go from Matthew Spinks. Spinks looking to lead this one from the drop of the very first green to the checkered flag. And the 35 looking strong right now. Is there going to be a fuel issue? Brian Hacker in second. Hoping there is. Looking to try and make it 2 in a row, but we've got less than a half a mile to go now. I don't see it happening. Spinks looking like he's going to win this one, Rick.
What an outstanding job by Matthew Spinks, Chris, leading every single lap, coming in here tonight with the pole. Finally. Congratulations, Matthew Spinks.
Your race winner tonight, Matthew Spinks in the 35, led all 150 laps here tonight at Myrtle Beach Speedway.
He didn't just win, Chris. He dominated, man. Outstanding. I'm so happy for Matthew. I can't wait to bring him up here and hear how happy he is out there. What an outstanding race, gentlemen.
Congratulations to Brian Hacker for bringing his 11 home in second spot, and KR Stolfus. Holy cow, KR comes home with a third. It must be that new paint job, Rick.
It's the new paint job, the new sticker on that quarter panel, Chris. And, if I remember correctly, earlier in the day, I think I saw a Keystone light in his hand.
It's very possible.
That might have been yesterday. All these days, they just, with KR in our personal chat there over at T3RN, man, always keeping us entertained throughout the day. But wait, yeah, right there. I'm gonna put that out there so it's in video, Brad. Brad Spinks right now at 10:29 p.m. on Wednesday, May 22nd, 2019. Way to go, son. Dad is proud of you.
I love
that
it.
Right there, Chris, makes it worth it, bro.
Love it. Guys, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to remember Helen Shedd. We're going to take a quick commercial. We're going to come back and talk to the top 3. We'll be right back.
Assist to the front bumper, and he hits him again now. Rayon Fowler into the outside wall.
He's going to pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's going to get them all done with. What amazing.
Lee to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is going to touch in. Pit press.
saved it.
What a save.
Look to the outside, and Trunkett goes off. De Jong into second place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
Trying, there's contact though.
Slide left of the racetrack. Chris Benner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the outside the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cutback here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Michael Schumacher, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
And we are back at the Race to a Race MS 150 put on tonight. A hell of a good race. These guys at Racing for a Cause, unreal with their support of one of the admins. And I'll tell you, it was awesome, Rick. But let's get right to it here, man. We've got finisher position number 3, the 77 car, the KR Stolfus. KR, this is Chris and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
What's going on, Chris and Rick? How you guys doing tonight?
Well, I'll tell you, man, there's a lot of names that started this race, and if I would have taken them from a hat, I don't know that I would have had you in the top 3, and it's not personal, you know that, but just a little while ago, we were talking about how you were trying to get used to this car still, and here you are with a top 3. Why don't you take me through your race?
Well, first and foremost, I'm not sure the top 3 is going to stick. I requested an incident go to driver council with me and Zach Coyer, but we'll see how that plays out. But other than that, man, things started clicking here in this race. A little bit of a slow start, and then as the race wore on, the car seemed to pick up speed compared to everyone else. And I got to thank my wife for putting that glitter and grace all over this car, because we needed a lot of grace and we ended up in the glitter.
It's pretty awesome, man. You kind of stole my thunder a little bit, but there's a lot of stickers on that car, KR. So why don't you take us through who you have to thank tonight?
First and foremost, like I said, I want to thank my wife, Courtney, for first of all letting me do this. And then check her out on Facebook, Glitter and Grace. If you are in need of some fingernail polish stuff, it's like stick-on polish, or you want to buy some for your wife, check it out. Also, gotta thank these people at T3RN. I can't figure it out. It's like Turn 3 Racing Network or something. They're a pretty big deal, but they're on my car. I want to appreciate them and what they do in these broadcasts. And man, my team, Stolfus Racers, we get after it every week, and just glad to have a finish tonight.
Well, a great finish it was, bud, and I guess Rick's got something for you. Go ahead, Rick.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to help you out because I know you're not used to being up front here, Chris, with KR. But you also have Vapor Trail out there. You got RFC, you got Upstate Racing League, OP Racing League, and the most important one that I see on that car in at least 3 positions is the JDRF guys. So, thank you to them. Also, make sure you check out me, KR Stolfus, on Twitch at Outlaw77S. That's Twitch TV /Outlaw77S. And I'll entertain you every single time that I go live on Twitch.
Well, thank you very much, Rick. I didn't have my acceptance speech prepared.
Well, you did a good job, KR. A little bit of help. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, and I do gotta say, man, when I was sitting there behind Matt and Justin, what a battle those two had. I don't know if you saw that, but points implications there, holy cow, they were getting after it.
Oh, it was awesome to watch. And yeah, we were definitely watching that one. But congratulations once again, at least for now, KR, and the unofficial points or race standings. You brought that 77 home third, and congratulations once again.
Thank you very much, guys, for all you do. And yeah, I'm going to go home and celebrate. Even though Drivers' Council might rule against it, this is solid tonight.
And that is driver of the number 77, KR Stolfus, bringing it home in 3rd spot. In 2nd position, last week's winner, able to bring that number 11 back up to the front. It's Brian Hacker. Brian, this is Chris and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Sure do. How you doing?
Good, bud, good. Listen, when you show up, you come to play, and here you are, finishing 2nd place tonight. If you had another, say, 20 laps, did you have anything for the 35 tonight?
I don't know. I don't think so. He was on a rail, and I burnt my tires up. I think I was one of the only ones to take tires that race outside of some of the guys that got caught up in wrecks. But I burnt them up just catching up to the top 2, and then not sure what happened to Troy there. It's unfortunate for him, but I don't think I had anything for the 35 tonight. He was fast.
Yeah, he was, and so were you. I mean, 2nd spot, nothing to worry about there. That's a good finish. Anybody on that 11 that you need to thank?
Yeah, like always, when I show up, I appreciate you guys doing what you're doing, and Andy runs a heck of a show here, and I know the other guys that help him out with Rick and Troy, and those guys do a pretty damn good job. So I really appreciate what they do. It's a lot of fun to come out and race, and I'm gonna try to make next Wednesday, and see if I can make the podium and talk to you guys again.
All right, Brian. Well, congratulations once again, bringing home that number 11 in second spot. It's Brian Hacker. And Rick, let's get the number 35, Matthew Spinks, up here. We got somebody we got to talk to here, and it is Matthew Spinks. Matt, do you have a copy?
I got you.
Man, I'll tell you what, that thing on a freaking rail tonight, that 35, I think I saw you get loose maybe once or twice coming off a corner. Otherwise, it was perfect all night long. Why don't you take me through your race?
It was long, especially that last 10 laps. But, I mean, car handled really great tonight. We didn't have finish we wanted in the heat race, but lucked up and got the pole for the feature. And I just done my best to hold them off. The cautions helped a lot. And, yeah, I don't know what to say. That's my first win since 2012.
Well, I'll tell you what, you did it in fine fashion here, 150 laps at Myrtle Beach. Hey, Matthew, what's your favorite track?
I'm going to say Myrtle Beach, but Nashville Fairgrounds.
Well, listen, congratulations once again on winning this one tonight. A perfect race. You started on the pole. You ended up front. Out in chat, you have your father and your mother out in chat, and Dad says he is proud, so congratulations for that. It's always good to hear that out of a father, right?
Oh, yeah. He tries to watch every week, which we had some circumstances last week where he couldn't. But I want to give a shout-out to all my sponsors. I ain't going to name them off this week, but the Heart Foundation for the cause. And I want to send my condolences to the Lambert family with their loss this past couple of weeks. And all the work RFC does for this league. It's one of the best leagues I've ever ran in.
Yeah, well, congratulations once again, bud. And, man, it was so fun watching you up front. It was great race for you. And it took a little bite out of that lead that Matt Votty has for the championship.
Yeah, the way I've got it figured up in my head, we might have gained about 6 more points on him is what I've got figured up, trying to sit here do it in my head. So we got as many points we could tonight, and we just got to do that next week.
There you go. That's the challenge. New Hampshire coming up next week. Well, congratulations once again to the number 35, Matthew Spinks.
Now, before we let you go, Matthew, okay, I want to also let you know that Dad and Mom are proud of you because she was watching too. And Chris and I also want to give you our heartfelt thanks, and you're in our thoughts and prayers there. I heard that, you guys are dealing with a few things there with your family too. So definitely, you're in our thoughts and prayers. Let us know if there's anything you need to do, bud. But hey, listen, congratulations tonight on dominating.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, KR. Good night, all.